r/ask Reddit. What character death was satisfying to you? 100% Joffrey Baratheon. I see you're Joffrey Baratheon and I raise you Ramsay Bolton. I go all in with the freeze. Show was on a massive downturn by that point though. Ramsay was just pure evil. Joffrey was at least somewhat understandable, considering his two parents and how he was raised. Plus surprise poison during Peak Throne's always better than obviously gonna die Bolton dying to a Hollywood-style Jon Snow moment. The Warden from the Shawshank Redemption. The last thing he sees is that motto he'd held over everyone else. His judgment cometh and that right soon. Scrolled all the way down to see if someone else would think this. Take my free award. The a-hole in Train to Busan who kept shoving people into zombies to save himself. I was looking for this comment. His death was 100% well deserved. I watched it just the other day and absolutely duck him. I would have liked to see him go in another way though. In the end he got bitten just like everyone else. I feel like he played the role as the selfish manifestation of what the dad would become if he did not listen to his daughter. So it's kinda cool they both make it to the last train, but I think they could have driven that point home harder if the resolution was written differently. Anyhow, still a good movie. Todd from Breaking Bad. Meth Damon. He was such an interesting character, clearly sociopathic yet he was the only one of them capable of any level of humanity. Dude, Jesse showed more humanity than Todd. Apart from Lydia, Todd literally didn't care for anybody else. And Jesse was extremely attached to children. He was distraught when his girlfriend's brother was killed and when a-hole Todd killed that boy who had a spider. The death of Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator. That movie made me cry at like age 10 LMAO. That final scene with him seeing his family again. Damn man. When that beach ponkrel died. It was satisfying that he was shot by the beings he led to death. Mika Bell. The bastard deserved death 100 times over. I shot him so many times in the balls, went back for his body to throw it off a cliff but lost him in the river. Every character killed by Arnold Schwarzenegger in history let off some steam. Bennett, consider it a divorce. He had to split. Remember when I said I was going to kill you last? I lied. Stick around. You are one ugly mother ducker. You're fired. True lies. The best underrated Arnie movie, and Jamie Lee Curtis in that scene is 1000% my sexual awakening. The answer for me will always be Hans in Die Hard, skillfully done by Alan Rickman. It isn't Christmas till you drop Hans from Nakatomi Plaza. Just don't tell the actor when he's being dropped and you'll get one of the best dying faces in cinema history. The way all the Terminators died in the first two movies. The first two that died felt good because that terrifyingly intense villain you thought was undefeatable finally died. And when Arnie sacrifices himself in the lava and gives that thumbs up, that really hit me in the feels. I know now why you cry, but it is something I can never do. Tom Riddle hit the floor with a mundane finality. In the end, death comes for all of us, and he was no exception, of course. The movie managed to ruin that by giving him an ash confetti death. His book Death was so much better. Reminds us that death comes for everyone just like you said. Ironically, Voldy probably shortened his lifespan by playing with Horcruxes. Actually yeah, he was something like 70 years old when he died, albeit continued having his youthful 30-40ish physique appearance. General Shepard from MW2. R.I.P. Ghost. R.I.P. Roach. Luke from Percy Jackson. Books, it just worked so well narratively. All the deaths from that first series really felt real. They showed the consequences and tragedy of war in a way that was palatable for middle schoolers. Couldn't agree more. Luke's character was so well written. Uncle Rick managed to give a character so much depth while writing a book essentially meant for children. Respect. Is it just me that is reading this thread and spoiling myself 5-6 different series books that I haven't finished yet? There was this other person who got spoiled. Admiral Zhao. Seeing where he ended up in Locke was so unsettling though tbh. Bellatrix Lestrange. Not my daughter, you beach. Everyone in the cinema burst into applause and cheers at that line. So great. Julie Waters is to be one of the best cast members of the entire franchise, especially because of the way she said that line. Ramsay Bolton. I enjoyed watching Jon beat the living shit out of him and watching Sansa exact her revenge. His loyal beasts. Getting the good part is a big agree from me. Coin and Mockingjay. Her death was dumb funny to me. Last from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Holy duck, it was amazing the way Roy just unleashed deer hell upon that psycho beach with just the flick of a lighter. It's what solidified Roy as my favorite character in the show. Mustang goes from classic shonen rival to a perfectly autonomous character and the baddest mother ducker ever with such power there. I mean, it was already established as a character, but generally that stuff has those masks and roles that are hard to shake off. In that episode, Mustang tells the reader/watcher, hey Beach, I do have agency. James Logan Howlett aka Wolverine. It was a perfect ending to series. Hugh Jackman did an incredible job playing him. Charles, however, had me sobbing. He deserved to die peacefully in his sleep. That reminds me so much of a line by Mike Farrell in Supernatural. You know the worst thing to happen to a guy with a mind like mine? Losing IT. Maul when he died in Star Wars Rebels. Losing to OI-1 and how it was executed made it one of if not the most poetic death in all of Star Wars. Stormfront from The Boys on Amazon. While it could be that she is still alive, that laser carving of her evil ass was sweet harmony. Don't know his name, but that guy who kept calling his girlfriend a skank from Breaking Bad, the ATM head crochet SMR was a bit disgusting though. Spudge. Light Yagami. It was sorta bittersweet cause it meant the end of the series but also he was insane. Of course he only becomes a Shinigami after but hey whatever. Dang this sorta blew up. Thanks for the awards. Also just to clarify Light becoming a Shinigami is just a theory. Seemed plausible to me though but to each their own. What I love about it is how pathetic he is at the end. When you take away his power, he's just a megalomaniac with no mystique left trying to weasel his way out the consequences of his actions. He goes out like a true-to-life narcissist, knowing he's lost and being unable to accept it. V. From Orange is the New Black. Season 2. She was so manipulative and sociopathic. It actually made my skin crawl to watch her sometimes. And the way she went out was perfect. Imo, the actress who played her, did such a good job. All the of Edmond Dante's enemies and the Count of Monte Cristo. He meticulously destroys each and every last one of them for what they did to him. Best revenge story ever written. Gotta go with General Ponkrell. Terry Pratchett's character death has always been very satisfying to me. Saving the little match girl. What better present than a future? Showing Mort the ropes of the soul release business. There's no justice. There's just US. Giving a reason to keep living. Cats are nice. And defending his individual by individual scything of souls and grass. For what can the harvest hope for, if not for the care of the Reaper Man? That's all I can quote off the top of my head, but there's a good one about why he's standing in for the Hogfather. About how children need to believe in Santa as practice for believing in the big imaginary things like hope and kindness and love. Something about there not being an atom of them in the universe. And yet, you can't give her that. It's not safe. IT's a sword. They're not meant to be safe. She's a child. IT's educational. What if she cuts herself? That will be an important lesson. Percy from the Green Mile. Damn. I totally had a brain fart. He was committed. It was still satisfying that he got possessed and killed Wild Bill and then got committed though. Yes, Percy was scum on earth. The actor played him amazingly. This has to be one of the top comments next to the got comments. Franz Ferdinand. I'll tell you who should have died. That Poe's Grandpa Joe. I just started reading Game of Thrones. How on earth did I think it was a good idea to open this thread? Laurie from The Walking Dead. Like she had a character arc at the end and all that, but she annoyed me so much. This woman wrecked on an empty road after the zombie apocalypse had already been well underway. Bellatrix Lestrange. To quote Molly Weasley, not my daughter, you beach. The crazy religious lady in the mist. Warren on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Personally, I wasn't a huge fan of the whole Dark Willow storyline, but I couldn't think of a more fitting death for that psycho nerd. I just wish it had happened before Jonathan was killed. Whoa, You made it to the end, you're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.